or should I say what they used to stand for. I listed it as conservative Republicans like myself. So I listed conservative ideology on one side, and I listed liberal ideology on the other. Well, the problem was every teacher at my school was a liberal Democrat who belonged to the union. And so I went into the teacher's lounge to have lunch after I taught my lesson, and they were just waiting for me. And I walk in, and they said, "You can't teach that." And I said, "What are you talking about? It's my class." And they said, "No, you're not allowed to teach that. You're teaching Republican ideology." And I said, "No, I'm teaching politics. I'm teaching government. I'm teaching both sides. I'm giving them something you people don't give them. I'm giving them free will. They can choose whether they want to believe this or whether they want to believe this." And the reason I did it is because the majority of kids are conservatives. They are. They learn liberal ideology. And I'll tell you from experience, they learn it in school. That's where it's taught. That's where they learn it. So one of the teachers said, "Well, just once we'd like you to teach something Democrats did that everybody knows a Democrat did." And I said, "No problem. Come in tomorrow. I'll cover that for you." So the 6th grade class comes in the next day. They're standing at the back of my room. And so I walked up to the chalkboard and I drew a line, drew a dip, drew a bridge, drew a car going off, drew a car sinking. I'm 25 years old at this time. I draw the car sinking to the bottom. I draw the little stick man swimming to the surface and running off into a bunch of trees. I turned around and 2 out of 4 of those teachers had no idea what I was talking about. They were considerably older than I was. And I thought to myself, this happened in your lifetime. And they were looking at me like, what's the rest of the story? The other 2 were about as red as this nice lady's shirt. And I turned around and I said, "Kids, today we're going to learn how Democrat Senator Ted Kennedy killed his secretary, Mary Jo Kopechne, when he left her in the bottom of a submerged vehicle and didn't tell anybody until the following Sunday morning." And my principal's just looking at me thinking, I don't know what I've done. So I get done teaching it, and the kids ask me, "Did he go to prison?" "No, he's a Kennedy." So I put the name up real big. And when you're a Kennedy, you can commit all kinds of felonies. In fact, you can even run blues for the mob. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I said, "Kids, because next week we're going to learn how the Kennedys amassed their fortune, and it has something to do with Grandpa Kennedy running liquor during Prohibition," which was what amendment? And I had one kid in the back of the room who knew everything. 18, he yelled out. That's right, 18th Amendment. Good job. We're learning government here. Then I went back into the teacher's lounge. That was not a good scene.
And you're still alive?
Well, I was a lot faster than they were. And the principal meets me and he says, "They want to fire you." And I said, "Well, technically, I don't even work here. I'm a student teacher. I'm still in college. You can't really fire me. You could probably call the university, but they're not going to tell you got to get rid of me based on that story, mostly because it's true. It's historical, and it does have to do a little something with government, and I did it by request." They stopped requesting me to teach stuff after that. That was the last time they did. So as I taught my classes, I taught the government. I taught the Constitution. That is what kids learned in my room. Kids would tell their other teachers would come to me and say, "Would you please stop telling kids they have the freedom of speech?" All right, I'll tell them to dial it back a little bit in your classroom. But kids they're not aware of that.